The icy air nipped at her cheeks as Leela tightened the straps on her snow boots. The crunch of the powdery tundra beneath her feet, sending a thrill up her spine. This was it. The night she dared to dream of since she was a child. The northern lights, the aurora borealis, were forecasted to veil the Arctic skies with their ethereal shimmer. Leela had traveled thousands of miles for this moment, the culmination of years spent staring at photographs, watching documentaries, and imagining what it might feel like to stand under nature's most breathtaking spectacle. She pulled her scarf tighter around her neck and glanced at the horizon. The vast expanse seemed calm at first, like a canvas waiting for its first brushstroke. Above her, the stars twinkled with eerie clarity, brighter than she'd ever seen them. The deep stillness wasn't empty. It was alive, charged with a quiet anticipation that matched the growing flutter in her chest. She wasn't just here to witness the lights, she was here to dance beneath them. It was a promise she'd made to herself years ago, a vow to celebrate life under the most magical sky. Lila's guide, an older woman named Solveig, gestured for her to follow. They moved slowly across the frozen plain, the soft whistle of the wind their only soundtrack. A pair of huskies tugged a small sled behind them, their presence grounding yet surreal in the haunting wilderness. Solveig had told Leela earlier that her ancestors believed the northern lights were spirits dancing in the heavens. The thought reverberated within her, sparking a deeper yearning to be part of the symphony tonight. An hour passed, then 2. Still, the sky remained quiet. Lila couldn't help but wonder if this was an act of fate or folly, that maybe she'd pinned her hopes on an unpredictable whim. But then, as she released a sigh into the chill, Solveig stopped abruptly. Her hand flew to her chest, her breath caught. "Look," she whispered, her voice trembling with hushed reverence. It started as a faint ribbon, a wisp of emerald green winding across the inky night. Then, like ink spilling across water, the lights surged forth, ribbons and swirls of jade, sapphire, and violet unfurling with a slow, mesmerizing elegance. Lila froze, awestruck. The aurora didn't simply hover, it pulsed, it danced, it sang silently in colors she couldn't name. It was alive. Her body moved before her mind caught up. Boot-clad feet skated across the snow as she raised her arms and spun, her laugh swelling over the icy breeze. She twirled under a kaleidoscope that seemed to ripple in response, as if the aurora herself had noticed and joined her dance. Tears blurred her vision, but she didn't mind. This wasn't just the fulfillment of a childhood dream, it was more profound than that. It was connection. A moment where she didn't just exist in the world, but became a part of it. Solveig watched from the sled, her own smile soft but knowing. To dance with the aurora was to touch something timeless, something sacred. As Lila spun and danced, the colors embraced her, twirling in harmonious response. When at last the lights began to fade, Lila lay on the snow, breathless but euphoric. Her heart felt as though it had expanded tenfold, her soul lighter than it had been in years. She glanced at Solveig and smiled through the tears streaking her face. "It felt like magic," she murmured. Solveig nodded, the stars above returning to prominence. "That's because it is, and now you're part of it, too." As they made their way back to camp, Lila knew one thing for certain. There would never be another dance like this, like her first with the aurora, but it would live with her forever. A memory etched not just in her mind, but in the skies themselves.